The typical middle-aged person focuses more on yoga, on stretching, on jogging than proper strength training. Let's be clear. Grandma did not go to the nursing home because she was inflexible or didn't do enough deep breathing with her legs crossed. It was because she was weak. Weakness is what brings people into a nursing home because they can't physically produce the strength and power to take care of themselves. So if you're in your 30s and you're not resistance training, you need to get started. If you're in your 40s and 50s and you're not resistance training, you absolutely have to change that. In fact, you should be worried. You should be freaked out if you're in your 40s or 50s or older about your health span and your lifespan if you are not doing resistance training. Do not resign yourself to the fact that your best days are behind you. It does not have to be that way, but it might be that way if you don't get off your butt and do some proper strength training. Physiology is a bitch. We all know this, those of us that are in middle age. And we're going to be on a downward slope unless we do proper strength training. We're losing muscle, we're losing strength, we're losing cardiovascular capacity. We're even losing this amazing benefit, this cognitive benefit of doing resistance training. It will actually give you resistance to Alzheimer's and dementia. Yeah, lifting weights, being like a meathead in a sense, will actually decrease your chances of Alzheimer's and dementia. It is amazing. It's this secret, hidden in plain sight tool that you should be using multiple days a week. So I'm going to give you 3 powerful exercises today with a high return on investment to get you started down the right path. We need to delay the nursing home scenario. These exercises are not about looking better. This is about living longer. It's about moving better. It's about staying independent for yourself and for your family. Your family does not want to be shipping you off to a nursing home any sooner than they have to. Hey, my name is Aaron Shaw. I am a Healthspan coach, performance nerd, occupational therapist, and your personal guide to crushing the second half of life. That's what I'm trying to do for myself. That's what I do with my coaching clients. This is Healthspan Digest. And today we're going to cut through the noise and talk about just 3 exercises that can quite literally extend your life. Are there more than 3 exercises? Yeah, there's an infinite number of exercises to choose from. And when done well, most of them are actually great, but I'm picking 3 today. My coaching clients are typically in their 40s or older. They're typically busy, driven, very intelligent, very smart. And ultimately, the common thread with them all is that they're tired of their body feeling like it's failing them. And really their body's almost falling behind their ambition. They have really big ambitions and I want to feel healthier and I want to feel stronger. And I'm tired of feeling tired. I'm tired of not sleeping well and I can't eat the things I want to anymore. And I feel weak and I get pooped out and all this stuff. Yet in their mind, they want something so much better than that. They expect more out of themselves. And I help them do that. And I do that through following the science, no fads, no frills. I don't have a magic tincture, but the science, when done well, can help people achieve their unique potential, your unique potential. It is possible. Thoughtful plan and with support, which is what I do. So if you would do me a favor, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you listen to this on a podcast platform, please subscribe, download this. It means the world to me. And let's get started. 3 exercises. Here are 3 exercises to get us rolling. Number 1, weighted carries or a farmer's carry. It is probably one of the most simple and effective exercises you can possibly do. You're going to get a pair of heavy dumbbells. You are going to pick them up, hold one on each side, kind of like you're walking through the airport with old school luggage, as opposed to once upon a time, luggage didn't have wheels on them and you actually had to carry them through the airport. So think carrying luggage through the airport and you walk with them. That is it. How hard can it be? Well, we're going to talk about that in a second. But when done well, when you have the right amount of resistance, this is going to light up your grip strength, your core, your shoulders, your lungs, all in one really beautiful and simple movement, something that we should be doing all the time, which is getting up and moving around. It will improve your posture, it will improve your balance, and it will give you real life durability. So these are underrated. And for anyone who wants a big return on investment without the frills, you don't need a bunch of bells and whistles. You don't need to be hanging hooks up on walls and having straps all over the place or have a full gym set. You just need heavy dumbbells. When you are done doing this exercise, you will feel that moment of like, damn, like that was that was a proper exercise. It's almost like that sensation when, if there was a time when you had to help your friend move some heavy furniture around, or you had to pick up some heavy boxes or do some real manual labor, let's say, when you're done, when you put something down, there's that moment where you reflect and think, whew, that was tough. That was heavy. That was awkward lift I had to do. You're going to get that same sensation from this exercise. It is hard. When done well, this exercise is hard, and it is supposed to be. So this isn't picking up a 5-pound dumbbell in each hand and kind of strolling around your kitchen. The goal with this is, and this is going to take time to build up to, but the goal for men would be to carry about half of your body weight in each hand. Half of your body weight in each hand for a minute. For women, shoot for about 75% of your total body weight in each hand. So yeah, math that out. Think, holy cow, these dumbbells have to be pretty damn heavy. If you have a home gym, you probably have a couple of, if you're like most of my clients, this hodgepodge of random dumbbells and weights. Most of them are probably painted in random pastel colors. Those aren't the ones. That is not going to do it for you. You're going to pick up a weight, and you're going to start with a weight that you can carry for 30 seconds. It needs to be heavy, but 30 seconds is good enough to start with. Instead of shooting for, those numbers I just told you, maybe start with half of that. So even if you start with 25% of your body weight in each hand, that should be within your capacity. Even if you're not really trained, you should be able to do that. 25% of your body weight in each hand in a dumbbell. You pick it up, stand up nice and tall, and you walk. Flat surface. So we're not doing challenges with gravel or rocks or whatnot, just a flat surface. Walk around in circles, walk around your house, walk up and down the sidewalk. People are going to think you're weird. Screw them. You're taking the longest path to the nursing home possible, and that means you have to do weighted carries. And I promise you, when done well, when you set down that weight, your hands are going to be tired, your forearms are going to be tired, your shoulders are going to be tired, your heart rate's going to be up, your breathing is going to be up. And it wasn't fancy. There was no frills. There was ultimately no equipment, no weird stuff to hang yourself off of, no sliding contraptions. It is literally picking up heavy things. It works. This is a farmer's carry. Give it a shot. Second exercise. This is going to be a deadlift. I think that it can be kind of intimidating to do a deadlift because there is some technique you're going to want to be generally mindful of. But I'd also say if you're not really accustomed to doing deadlifts, that you're probably not going to hurt yourself because you're going to probably self-limit anyhow. But if you want to make it a little bit easier, you can do a deadlift with what they call a hex bar or a trap bar. It's this bar that you almost like you stand in the middle of it and you put the weight on the outside of it. And it's probably the easiest way to kind of enter into doing this exercise. Now, this is a podcast and I can't really show you proper form. If you are freaked out at the thought of doing this exercise, 1, don't do it. 2, do it with some guidance. Get a trained professional to work with you in person, virtually, give you some tips. It's not worth something to just kind of, if you can't lift enough resistance with this because you're so afraid, then just take it off the list. But with a little bit of practice, huge return on investment. And it is definitely, we're talking about picking things up off the floor, right? It's a pretty fundamental movement, very, an exercise or a movement or thing that we need to do to be independent, whether it's maybe it's even picking your grandkid up off the floor, or bags of groceries off the floor, or Amazon boxes off the floor, or the remote control off the floor, whatever it is. Like, you need to be able to bend down, pick stuff up. And the reason why this is such a big return on investment is because when you get the resistance right, when you get the resistance dialed, and I'm talking when you pick this up within 2 or 3 seconds, the first thought is like, holy crap, like this is super heavy. I can barely hang on to it. That's good. You're in the sweet spot. It activates what we call the posterior chain. So it's like your glutes and your hamstrings and your back. Again, your core, your grip strength, your heart rate's going to go up. It will be a full body workout. Great for bone density. So we think about bone density whenever we can kind of like put pressure through our bones, we'll improve our bone density, which is also something that tends to fail us through middle age. Our bones tend to get a little bit weaker. Great for metabolic health. Get your back strong. It's beautiful. If you don't have a trap bar and you don't have a barbell, you can just use dumbbells or kettlebells, hold one on each hand. But what matters is you have something that can give you that resistance to do this deadlift motion. And there's a million videos on YouTube. Most of them are pretty good. When in doubt, see a professional, somebody who teaches this on the regular. Maybe hopefully it'll be a trainer down the street in your local gym or whatnot. And of course, if you have real questions, feel free to hit me up. We need to be blunt here. We need to be crystal clear that if you can't safely pick up and kind of easily pick up, let's say 40 pounds off of the floor, your independence basically has an expiration date. You have to have a capacity to do this. We do not want to wait for the doctor to tell you what you've lost. That's the biggest thing that kind of concerns me as people age, and myself, like as I age. I don't want to be seeing health professionals that say, oh, you gotta be careful, you can't do that anymore. Well, yeah, you're gonna get hurt, you can't do that anymore. Forget that. Not playing that game. So train now. You have to train now. The third exercise, doing step ups with a load, with holding on to some resistance. Step up. So we're talking about, as simple as it sounds, stepping up. And I don't mean like a huge box or anything, even just like the step on stairs. They're not sexy, but they work. They build single leg balance. So imagine you've got a dumbbell in each hand and you're walking up a step, up and down, one step up, one step down. Same leg stays on that one step and you just kind of go up and down. It challenges your balance. This is great for the nervous system. And it's really, compared to the other ones, this may actually be a more functional exercise because it is real world stuff. Think about walking up and down stairs, trails, uneven surfaces, curbs. And I've spent, decades in orthopedic practices, and the trip and fall, because an older person, and this is kind of tough to say because I'm kind of in that age group now, but the middle-aged and older person, especially in 60s and 70s and beyond, they catch their toe on something, on the curb, on the crack in the curb, on the rug, something. And because they don't have strength, because they haven't challenged their nervous system and their balance capacity, hit the deck, broken wrist, broken hip, concussion. And oftentimes that is the nail in the coffin, figuratively and literally, because sometimes when people have that fracture, they never get out of the hospital. They never return to independence. And we want to delay that for as long as possible. In order to do that, we have to train. We have to take this tendency for this downward slope with our physiology, which sucks, but it is what it is. We need to stop that downward slope. And we can when you do hard stuff under your own control. Don't make the hard thing being it's really hard to be dependent on other people. That's hard and it sucks. Don't make that your hard thing. Make the hard thing being single leg step ups where you got a dumbbell in each hand and you're stepping up a step, nice and slow and controlled, nice and slow on the way back down. You could even put on a backpack. If you don't really like holding on to stuff, you can put on a weighted backpack or what they call a rucksack now. You can get these online that are literally just like weighted backpack. But it is a great way to bulletproof your hips, your knees, your confidence, improve your balance, activate your nervous system. Super low tech. You should be able to do at least 10 with whatever you would consider to being moderate weight, enough that's going to get your heart rate up. And you need to do this today. We can look at weakness as a symptom of aging, but really weakness is a consequence of neglect. If you are weak, if you feel frail, chances are you've neglected something. And yes, of course, if somebody is 100 years old, they're going to be weak, they're going to be frail. I mean, we don't have this illusion that we can live forever by doing any sort of resistance training, but far too often, far too often, people are not nearly living up to their capacity, are really making decisions that shorten their lifespan, shorten their independence, shorten their health span. And it's a consequence of decision making. And we are here, and I'm here, and hopefully you're still listening to me right now. It is a consequence of neglect. So please, we can do something about this. And if you think about the body that you want to have, the capacity that you want to have when you're in your 70s, you're building that right now. When you're building that right now, we need to think, but you're building this tall mountain. The more single leg step ups you do, the more farmer's carries you do, the more deadlifts you do, the more weight training you do, strength training you do, you're really kind of building this mountain of strength and function and capacity and age defying abilities. And yeah, as time goes on, physiology changes and it sucks and it's not fair and it's above my pay grade. I can't make it go to zero, but at least we've created this big mountain of capacity. And as we're coming down this mountain, we're going to be coming down from a tall, tall mountain. And that's going to serve us well for many, many years to come as long as we keep up the fight. If we don't bother to build that mountain and your capacity is this little tiny molehill and you're in your 40s and 50s and you're just kind of weak and kind of feel tired and blah all the time, you're screwed. You are screwed unless you do something about it. So every single rep is a vote for your independence, or every single rep you choose not to do is a vote for dependence. So you got to choose your discomfort. That's what we're talking about here. So yes, these movements are tough, but so is losing muscle is tough. So is needing help to stand up. That is tough. So if you want to live longer and you want to live better, these are 3 exercises that have great return on investment. It's a starting point. There are a million other exercises, and I'm sure I'll get emails from people saying like, why did you talk about the XYZ exercise? Yeah, if you're not doing anything, do something. For sure, just do something that is physically hard, safe, but hard. But these are a good starting point. I chose these because they activate a whole bunch of your body at the same time. So anytime you're really kind of adding a load to your body, it is going to get your cardiovascular system going, bone density going. Once you get into single leg stuff like that single leg step up, your nervous system's really kicking in, your balance has to kick in. You'll probably see some imbalances left to right. It's all great information. It is about helping you be as capable as you possibly can for as long as you possibly can. We're all on a ticking clock here. I get that. So here's one thing you can do today to extend your health span. The one thing you can do today is take these 3 exercises that I just went over and do them. And then in 4 to 5 days from now, do them again. And 4 or 5 days after that, do them again. And you keep doing them over and over and over again. And you make them harder because your body's going to start to adapt to them. And the first time you did it, if you were holding a 20-pound dumbbell in each hand, in a couple of weeks, that 20-pound dumbbell is just really not going to do much for you. And this is where so many people get stuck because they just keep doing the same thing over and over again. We have to continue to progressively make things harder. If you need guidance or a quick consult on how to really dig into your unique goals or your unique limitations or aches and pains and injuries, definitely hit me up. If you don't want to work with a new coach, I totally get that too, but talk to somebody. Talk to a personal trainer that has a lot of experience. Talk to a strength coach who has a lot of experience. And experience does matter with this. My coaching clients, my VIPs, all have a money-back guarantee with their coaching program. So if you're really looking for a coach out there or a personal trainer out there, ask them about that. Do they guarantee results if you follow their plan? That's what I do. There's a 0 risk factor with people who really want to work with me for the long term and change their life. Science works, support works, accountability works. It's a combination of a hug sometimes and a kick in the ass sometimes. We have to follow the science, do these 3 things. We are eyes wide open with how physiology changes over time. Youth is wasted on the young. We know all the details. If you have questions, concerns, alternatives, if you want help, if you want guidance, my contact information is in the description of this video. Please get out there, exercise, do physically challenging things, do resistance training. And to go full circle, I am not anti-yoga, I'm not anti-Pilates, I'm not anti-jogging, I'm not anti-stretching, any of those things. But that is the easy way out. You're setting up some limitations and you're missing a key component to your performance, to your longevity, to your health span, and that is resistance training. So get after it. Hit me up if you have any questions. Cheers.